Hey, this is Dale, your librarian. I'm going to show you stuff that's not in the library at all, but hopefully will be helpful for your infographic assignment. A lot of what we have to look for might be out on the open web, and so we should be able to find it and cite it and use it properly. So here's some tips on how to find some examples of infographics so you don't have to go in cold, but you can see what other people have done. How to find images on Google search that are copyright free, so you won't get in trouble with anybody if it goes out on the open web. Anybody. I will also show you a clip art site, and lastly, I will show you how to cite an image. This isn't a sure-proof way of doing it, but it gets you in the ballpark, as it were. Okay, first of all, if you go to Google and you look for infographics, it might be helpful to have it be in the context of infographics. So an in-context search, if you do infographic and drug courts, that colon there says find everything with drug courts, but make sure that it's in the context of something that has an infographic, if that makes sense. And then if you go to images, you'll have all these cute little infographics. Some of them will be scholarly posters. Some of them will be different things like this. But click through these and see there's a lot of cool ideas. It's not just about bar graphs and pie graphs, although there are some of those in there. So infographic is a pretty canon description for something. So you could do racism, jury selection. So I put that in quotes if you remember from my other videos. So it looks for that, specifically those two words stuck together. And it's cool. I mean, it's tragic, but the ideas are cool. You get to determine what you use and how you go about making your image. And you could really do this with anything. So I'll do an infographic on Mexican food. It's cool. There's a taxonomy of Mexican food. Not what I was looking for, but I'm delighted that I found it. Okay, second thing, I'm going to close that window. When you're looking for things that are copyright free, what that means is, if I go to Google Images and I do drug courts, it could be this image is copyrighted by the Salt Lake Tribune. So even if I find it out on the open web, I can't use this in an infographic if I'm representing an agency or a non-government organization or something like that out in the real world. In educational context, there's something called fair use in education, meaning if you're teaching a class or if you're doing an assignment in class, you don't have to worry about copyright. But just for the sake of practice, to avoid getting sued by the Salt Lake Tribune, how could we get around that? If you go to images, let me go back to images. Under tools, you can go to advanced search, and then, you can pull out all of your searches right here. But if you go down to, let's see, usage rights right here, and it looks like it'll give you a description. Creative Commons means that copyright has been given away in part or completely. So Creative Commons sometimes says if you're a for-profit company, you can't use this. But if you're just a private person, go ahead. All the way to royalty-free images. Now when we do a search for drug courts, that Salt Lake Tribune shouldn't show up. So these are Flickr is just kind of like it's a community website where you can put up images. But there's not a lot of stuff, is there? So be careful when you're looking in here, and maybe you would just look for clip art crime. And since we're already doing that Creative Commons, there's somebody getting shot in the back. There's an angry person with a ball and chain. There's somebody giving us an offensive gesture. So a lot of these are pretty corny, right? But when you do the Creative Commons, if you, people want to make money. So if you took away that one where, oh, here it is. If you took away Creative Commons and you just did everything, then all of a sudden the clip art gets really good. It's because people are making money off of this. Okay, Next thing, there is a website, and there used to be these books in the library too for things that you can download for free. So if you go to Noun Project, this is kind of a collective where you can search for, I wonder if they have drug court. I doubt it. Oh, a marijuana leaf in court. All of these are copyright free, and you can just use them. How about jury selection? Lame. Okay, so your results may vary. I would say use what you want to, but be judicious and know that if it goes out into the open web, you can't use it to represent anybody except your own educational thing. So for what it's worth. Okay, let me close that one. Let me close this one. Let me close this. Okay, what do we do if we want to find something and we want to cite it? So this is using the fair use and copyright. I'm planning on using this wickedlocal.com graphic because this is exactly everything that I wanted to say. So what I would do is wherever the image shows up, oh, here's my drug courts image. If you open this in a new tab, you have this URL. When you're citing something in APA style, you don't cite necessarily the image itself. You cite the container that it was in. Was it in a book? Was it in a website? Was it in a blog or something like that? So what I would do is go back, grab this website, and then I would go to zbib.org. Have you ever been here? There's a citation generator that works pretty good. So if I wanted to cite that graphic, I would go to zbib.org, and then, but I'm citing the website that it came from. So you just put this in, and then it'll spit out something. And your job is to click on Edit and say, okay, is this a web page? Yeah. Is the title really that? Well, maybe. Is the website title this? Or is there an author that's missing? So Nathan Lamb is the author. So you could go back and see the author is missing. So this is where you would put Lamb. And then when you click Done, it reformats it. So let's go down to Lamb, Nathan. And here's no date. So you can keep on editing it until it's correct. And then you cut and paste that into your infographic or wherever you need to go. Okay, this has been Dale, your librarian.